Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops at a great millstone that rule well, that teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Aqua, which are you few sisters out there that are seeing your children. Shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off the current news of things that you ultimately have happening. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you brothers and you few sisters may know, or you may not know, that you ultimately have this situation that occurred. As you can see from what it says on this video, it says research monkeys escape after transport truck crashes in Mississippi. So you basically had like these lab tested monkeys that they said had all type of various different diseases and, things in them, because they're ultimately test monkeys. And ultimately, these monkeys have escaped, so, hey, that goes into the pestilence that we know the Lord is ultimately going to bring upon this world, and especially here to this place, America, because we are in the times and seasons where Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is bringing nothing but evils upon planet Earth, man. And these, evils are going to come in various different ways, forms, and methods, you see. So we're going to get straight into the video, and I'm going to just actually, allow a little of it to play. And then we're going to grab a few precepts and Abaratazai be edifying. But with that being said, fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video.
On Interstate 59 in Mississippi, a truck carrying research monkeys possibly infected from hepatitis to COVID crashing on the highway. Here's Mola Lenki.
Tonight, the urgent search for dangerous research monkeys that escaped from the wreckage of a crash on a Mississippi highway.
We got 21 monkeys that was on this on the run.
Video showing several monkeys crawling in the grass. Heavily armed officers responding to the scene. Authorities say a truck carrying nearly 24 rhesus monkeys from Tulane University overturned on Interstate 59 in Jasper County.
Here's one of the monkeys right here. There's one sitting right there.
At least 6 monkeys escaping. Officials warning they might be aggressive towards people and were potentially infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID.
And we got to neutralize something out here in a minute.
And late today, police confirming all but one of the escaped monkeys had been euthanized for public safety reasons, adding they're still actively searching for that one monkey still on the loose. Well, David, the monkeys that did not escape from the truck are said to be okay and accounted for, David. All right, Mola Lenki.
Right there. And good evening. We are live in Jasper County at I-59 around mile marker 117 with a wreck that has exotic animals loose. Now, we're going to do this quick because we don't need to be too close to these. We've got law enforcement with guns here where we are. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to back up here. Let me show you the wreck, and then I'm going to show you the monkeys that we have here. And again, these monkeys could be dangerous, and that's why I'm not staying too far from my vehicle in case we have to get back in. These possibly, what's the word I'm being told here? They could have diseases, is what we're being told. So I'm going to show you the truck. Here's the truck where the accident is. Now here's one of the monkeys right here. Let's zoom in on this so you can see this. There's one sitting right there. I've seen 4 to 5 climbing around inside the back of the trailer, but there he sits. Now, each one of these crates.
Right. And we see the video and we see what happened. You see basically the truck, crashed or whatever the case may have been. And you got a few of the monkeys that, that they say escaped and that are running rampant. You see throughout Mississippi. But like I said, we're living in the time of season where Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is plaguing this earth, man. And all type of different various things are, coming upon this place, man. America and the world, you see. And like I said, the Lord is going to use these pestilences, you see, and all of these various different types of things that he's going to unleash in these times, ultimately to bring forth judgment, right? So I'm going to grab this precept right here. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord," right? "I will bring plagues upon the world," right? Those plagues also goes into pestilences, right? Sicknesses, viruses, and things of that nature. You see, these are all of the things that the Lord has in his arsenal that he's going to bring out in these latter days to bring a lot of punishment and death upon people, man. You see? It says the sword, famine, right? Death and destruction. You see, those are all of the things that the Lord has coming down the pipeline upon planet Earth. You see? And it tells you why the Lord is ultimately bringing these things. This is verse 6. It says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." You see? So ultimately, due to all of the wickedness and everything that's occurring, especially here in America, but ultimately worldwide, due to the so-called white man, Esau, Edom being in power, you see, we're living in a time where the Lord is tired of all of the wickedness that is ultimately occurring. And he's just about to start unleashing judgments and sorrows and plagues on all sides, man. You see, this is the time and season that we are in, right? And I'm actually go to another precept just touching on that through the Spirit, right? I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. And I'm going to start at verse 37, all right? It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, you see? And this is ultimately the time and season that we're living in where, hey, these plagues and all of these different things that the Lord is about to be bringing upon the earth, they're not going to slack, man. Things just going to continue to get worse. Every day that you cut on the news, or every day you look on social media, whatever it may be, you're going to see something more devastating or something more dangerous happening, man, in the earth, you see? And it says, verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues, right, be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side, right? And I'm actually look up that word sorrows, right? Just for edification's sake as well, because this is ultimately what we see the Lord bringing upon the earth, right? On all sides with these storms that are happening, all of these wars, everything that's happening, man. These are all the beginning of sorrows that the Lord is bringing upon the earth. And everything that we see happening is ultimately only going to increase and get worse, right? But it's the meaning of the word. It's that a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others, right? So I'm going to go down to the similar words. And when you go down, it goes into, gloom, right? Doom and gloom. That's what the Lord is bringing. Miseries, right? Unhappiness, sadness, right? And low spirits, and that's exactly what the Lord is bringing upon planet Earth, man. You see, and he's going to bring it via these various different plagues that he's unleashing, you see. So I'm going to get back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, right? And I'm going to go down to verse 12. Right. It said Egypt shall mourn. And this is talking about modern Egypt, which is this place, Babylon, the great America. Right. Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt. It says Egypt shall mourn, which is talking about basically the people that inhabit this place. Right. You Americans, you Babylonians. And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall bring upon it. So like I said, we don't know ultimately where this thing is going to go. But I wouldn't be surprised that if this could ultimately create something. You see, we don't know if the Lord put the spirit on his devil to release these for a reason, man. You see, because we're definitely living in a time where you can't be ignorant of anything small nor great, as the scripture says, right? And I'm actually pull that up real quick, right? Because we're definitely living in a time where a lot of things are happening. And you definitely want to be in the spirit of being circumspect because, hey, a lot of stuff is going on, right? And, things like this that a lot of people will look over. Hey, something like this can be something very serious, But this is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5, right? And I'm going to go straight to the point, which is at verse 15, right? And it says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. You see, so like I said, this may look like something small, you see, but this is not something that you ultimately want to be ignorant of. Because guess what? Even though it looks small, could be something that can ultimately stem and bring forth something way major, Because like I said, we're living in those times where the Lord is bringing nothing but evils, man. You see. So I'm going to get back into 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm going to go down to verse 49. Right, because these are all of the things that the Lord ultimately has coming down the pipeline upon this place, America, you see, as well as the world. And it says, I will send plagues upon thee, right? Widowhood, right? Poverty, famine, death, and pestilences, right? To waste thy houses with destruction and death. So like I said, the Lord is going to be just unleashing all type of things in this time and season. You see, so that's why we constantly want to be watching and constantly want to be praying as well. You see, and knowing the times and seasons that we're living in that, a lot of things are happening, So I'm going to grab this precept as well, because ultimately, like I said, the Lord is going to send these pestilences as a form of judgment, man. You see, to punish the 2/3 of his people. You see, a lot of people are predestined to be destroyed by these pestilences right along with the heathens. You see, those that are not of the Lord's remnant, they're not going to be safe in these times that the Lord is about to unleash all of these judgments, man. It's not about to be safe for these people, right? But this is Ezekiel chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, thus saith the Lord power, smite with thine hand and stamp with thy foot, and say, alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by the sword. And we know that this happened in the ancient time, but this is going to happen again as well in this time, man. Right? Where guess what? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians that are not seeking after the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you see, that, are not trying to, follow after the ways of your power and turn away from wickedness and follow after righteousness. Hey, the Lord got a lot of various judgments that are coming down the pipeline upon you 2/3, right along with you heathens as well, man. So it says, for they shall fall by the sword, right, by the famine and by the pestilence, right? Verse 12. It says, he that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword. And he that remaineth and is besieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish my fury upon them. You see, and like I said, this is coming back around again. In these same time, the Lord is about to pour out these same various different judgments, man. You see the sword, right? Famines and pestilences. These are all of the things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing to this place, America, man. You see? So I'm going to get back into the video and we're going to just, watch a little bit more into it. But yeah, we're definitely in that time of season. So, things are happening. Things are going on, And it's definitely a time to be, watching as well. You see, paying attention to everything that's happening. You see in the news, you see keeping up with the latest events, all of these different types of things. Because, we just don't want to be in the blind about anything, because we're definitely living in some deadly serious times. You see, as it tells you in 2 Timothy 3:1. This knowing also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we're definitely living in times that are dangerous, risky, and hazardous, man.
This has got a monkey in it. Now, with that being said, these are test monkeys, is what they are. We got law enforcement here. So I've seen 2 or 3 climbing out the back here. Now, he keeps coming out the back of this trailer. One right back there. Now, again, each one of the crates have monkeys in it. We have one that's escaped on that side of the road in the northbound lane.
Right. And we got to understand that goes apart with Esau's blessing as well, being blessed with that sword. You see, it goes into his pseudoscience, his concoctions, and, his science and everything that the Lord has ultimately blessed him with. He got the CDC there in these labs and all of these different facilities, whipping up all type of different, concoctions and all type of, things. And hey, the Lord going to put the spirit on these devils where they're going to unleash a lot of this stuff that they're ultimately creating and experimenting with, man. You see, you still got to remember what kills snakes, right? AKA, Billy Gates, right? We all know who I'm talking about. But, he said maybe about a few years back, touching on that disease X. You see how they said that something was going to come in the near future that's going to be stronger than the C19. So we still got to remember all of those things that were spoken. So like I said, hey, the Lord going to bring these pestilences, man, these sicknesses and things like that. They're definitely going to be, used in these latter days to bring forth judgment and death, man. You see? So I'm going to get back into the video and we're going to just play a little bit more of it. And then I'll end the lesson because the point has already been made through the spirit, that, yeah, the Lord is going to send these pestilences in these times, you see, to bring judgment, man, upon people, you see. And there's no telling what, this devil's unleashing. But like I said, at the end of the day, the Lord's putting the spirit on Esau to do these things because ultimately we know this man can't do anything on his own, accord. Everything that these devils do and that they put out there, you see, it has to go through Yahweh Shem Yahushua first, you see. And the Lord is allowing these things to happen because, we're living in a time of judgment, right? And we're living in a time of the Lord getting ready to punish these people in the earth, man, right?
And then we've got more possibly in this direction. We got law enforcement as they're ready. And this is one of those that he's standing there on purpose for this reason. In case one of these, they're highly aggressive. I'll walk back just a little bit closer to that Scotty Ray mobile in case something happens and we have to get out of the way of them. How are you?
All right, Salakia for that. Salakia.
Again, he's sitting there kind of just watching everything. But apparently, these monkeys are used as test animals for something. They could have multiple diseases. We don't know.
Right. And you hear what it is the guy's saying. He said that these are test monkeys. And ultimately, these monkeys can have multiple various different, diseases within them. You see? So like I said, it's no coincidence that these monkeys, escaped, and that ultimately you got a few of them running rampant throughout Mississippi or wherever they unleashed them at and doing what they're doing, man. Because like I said, hey, these pestilences are coming, man. You see these sicknesses and all type of different things that people never experienced. Hey, things like that is about to start manifesting real soon in these times, man. You see? But with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying, just something quick through the spirit. Abaratazai, I pray it be edifying to you brothers and you few sisters out there. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.